Hi guys, the on shape video that I did last time in class didn't record the audio, so I'm redoing it here, and I'll go ahead and post it to YouTube. So, just to go in and review to open a new file, you guys can go up to here to create. When you go and click on it, I'm just going to go down here to document, and I can go and create a new document. I'll go and title this, I don't know, Cloud Demo. And I'm going to hit OK. And it'll create a new screen for me. Okay. Couple things about navigation. You guys have the little box over here, and if you click on these guys, it'll give you the different views. So right now I can see a whole bunch of views all at the same time. If I click on any one of these, then I'll be shown just that view. Because these are going on the wall, I'm just going to go ahead and use this front view over here. To go and use your trackpad to scroll around, you guys can go and with 2 fingers, if you guys go and click and hold, you guys can go and do a tilting view, and you guys can go and change your view to go and tilt around. This tilting view kind of does some weird things at sometimes, so if you get lost and you end up in some kind of view that you can't go and get out of, again, remember, you can always go back to this box over here, click on one of the little faces, and that'll send you to that view. Okay, if you guys are in this tilting view, again, that's 2 fingers and click and hold. You guys can also press shift or control while you're doing it. So I'm 2 fingers, click, and I'm pressing the control button, and what that does is it gives me a pan, so I can go up, down, and I can go left and right. Okay, so 2 ways of viewing. I got my tilt view here, and that's 2 fingers and a click and hold. And if I go and hit the control button, that's my pan. If I need to zoom in, it's just a 2 fingers up is zoom out, 2 fingers, and I swipe down, that goes in, and so that controls my my zooming. Okay, I'm going to go ahead here and click front again. Alright, so I'm ready to go and do some drawing here, so I'm going to go ahead and click sketch to go and start a drawing. And what I'd really it's going to go and open up sketch number 1, and it's going to ask me to select a sketch plane. So I'm going to go ahead and click front because that's the plane that I want to sketch on. And I've got a whole bunch of drawing tools up here I can go and use. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go and do is draw that 6x6 piece of 16th inch steel or 1/8 inch steel. So I'm just going to go and drag out a box, and it doesn't need to be 6x6. I'll get this square thing. If I go and as long as this guy is open, then I'll continue to go and make boxes whenever I click. Okay, to go and get out of here, if I just go and click it, it'll deselect it, and then I'll be given the arrow. I can go and select these guys. I'm just going to get rid of them because I don't need them. Okay, so whenever I go and click on a tool, it's going to go and highlight, and then I'll be in that that mode. So I'm going to go and select this dimensioning tool, and I just want to go and give my square some dimension. So right now it's not a square, and nor is it 6x6. When I go and get the crosshairs on the line, it'll highlight it. I'm going to go and click it. Oh, I'll click it, and then I'm just going to go and drag it, and I'm going to go and give this a dimension. So it's just a double click on it, and I'll say 6 inches, and that'll give me 6 inches on that side. I'm going to go ahead and click here. I'll click it and drag, and I'll get 6 inches here too, and that'll give me my 6 inch piece of steel. Okay, so I've got my 6 inch by 6 inch box here. I'm going to go ahead and take this box, and what I want to do is I want to give it some thickness. So right up here, this little box up here is my extrude tool. So I can just go ahead and click on this, it'll automatically default to 1 inch. So if I go in and go and tilt it, I can see that depth right there. So this is a 6 inch by 6 inch by 1 inch thick plate. Now I'm going to go and change this to 0.125 or an 1/8 inch. I'm going to hit return, and I'll click on the green arrow, and I'll end up with my 1/8 inch plate. Great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click to the front again so I can go and get my front view again. And now that I've got this piece of plate, which is kind of the area that I want to be drawing in, I'm going to go ahead and make a little cloud drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new drawing. So I'm going to hit sketch. I'll see sketch 2 up here. It says sketch, select a sketch plane, so I'm going to click on the face of that piece of steel that I just made. So that I'm making a drawing directly on the face of that steel plate. And the tool that I'm going to go and use is this Bezier curve tool or spline tool. I'll go ahead and activate it, click on it, and then it'll be highlighted, so that tells me that the tool is activated. Okay. And when I go and click on it, it'll go and drop me a point here, and then it'll give me a line here that kind of shows me the angle relative to that point. And this is where I'm going to go and drop my next point. So I can go ahead and drop another point there. I can drop another point there, and drop another point there, and then I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'll drop one there. Okay. And I'm going to actually double click on that. Okay, when I go and double click on that, what that'll do is it'll end that arc. So this arc is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay, so if I go and put a single click, that just places the points, but the double click on the end, that'll go and complete my point there, and my shape will go and turn blue. The other way that you can go and do that is after you go and hit that last one, it'll wait for you. You'll be able to go and put another one on here, but you can also hit escape, and that'll do the same thing. Okay, so I can do the same thing here for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and make another kind of puffy part of the cloud. So I'll go ahead and click on here. I'll click here. I'll click here. I'll click. I don't know. I'll go maybe click here, and then I'll go and click here. I'll double click here. Okay, and I can go and just continue making puffy parts for my cloud. I'm going to come down here. The great thing about Onshape is he'll give you all of these little help tools. So one of the help tools is, my cloud, I want to go and have it have a flat bottom. So it's giving me this little dotted line and a little highlighted original point over there, and that tells me that it's in horizontal alignment with it. So I'm going to go ahead and double click here, and that'll end it. I'm going to click, and then I just want to go and join here. Okay, and that'll go and complete my cloud guy here. Okay, some other interesting things to go and note on my curve here. So this curve is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 curves that I've gone and put in, and then this last, it's technically a curve, but it looks like a flat line. And they're joined by these points. So my curves, whenever I go and click on these points, they're always going to be like these smooth curves. So if I want to go and make my cloud without it, it doesn't really kind of work unless it's just going to be a really and the points aren't really ever going to work out. This curve here, it wants to be a curve here, but the only way that I can make a curve come to a point and then another curve go is to create two separate curves. So You know, if I were to go and make, say, a heart, you know, I would go and click here. I'm going to click here. Click here maybe. Click here, and then I would have to go and double click here, and then start a new one. And then I would just go and start another one here. And then I would join it here. And then I would have some kind of heart-shaped guy here. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my spline tool. So you know, my cloud over here, my cloud guy here, it looks pretty good, but it's not great. Could use some work. So I'm just going to go and change it around a little bit. You know, it's just like not quite looking cloud-like. So what I'm going to do is I can go and once I select these, I can go and move them around. So you know, you don't have to start off with the perfect drawing. You know, you can go and make a better drawing out of your drawing that's not a perfect drawing. Okay, so I can always go and move these guys around. Oop. I'm going to move that back. Oop. I'm going to move this guy down here. Okay, on the inside of my shape, I've got these handles again, right? And or I've got the points, and then the end point of the splines have got these little handles, and what the handles do is it goes and manipulates the curve of the shape. So when I go and drag these guys around, I can go and change the curve by moving those points, but I can also go and change the curve by moving these handles around. Okay, so that's another way I can go and change my curves. So there's one over here, and you know, you can check out what happens when I go move this curve around. Okay, so the end point of my spline where that curve is, you know, it gives me this handle so I can go and change the direction of it. So there's kind of like two ways that I can go and move things around. I can move things around kind of by the curve of this guy, or I can go and kind of move them around by using the handle here, the handle tool. So I'm going to move this guy around, move this guy around. I'm going to fix this guy up a little bit. So maybe I'll pull this guy down, move the handle here. I'll move this guy up. All right. Okay, so that's kind of in. Oh, and you know, this heart needs work, so I'm going to go and move this guy in, and you can see I've got two handles here where I joined them, right? So that was the end of two splines. So if I want to go and make my heart look a little bit better, I can go and move these guys around. I'll move this guy around here. If I've got these two handles, then if they're parallel to each other, then they'll look a little bit more natural. And I can go and shorten them up a little bit. That'll help a little too. Go and get a heart guy going here. And you know, with my heart guy, depending on what I do with the handles, I can go and make my heart guy kind of do some more, I don't know, hearty stuff. You know, so I've got like a heart that's kind of off to one side, I guess, or you know, whatever. Okay. All right. So that's my two shapes. Let's go. Oop. Okay. Here, maybe I'm just gonna go to. I'll delete this guy. Okay, so I've got my heart guy here going, or my clouds. Let me fix this up a little bit. Oh, you can also go and move, more than one point around too. So I'm gonna go and maybe move this one down here. This one up here looks a little high, so I'm gonna go, but it's a good shape, so I'm gonna select all three of these and click and drag. I'll go move it down. Okay. All right. That's kind of looking a little bit better. Okay. With this guy over here, one of the things I can go and do is, I can go and change the direction of my cloud. So if I want my cloud to be, let's say, a fast moving cloud, or a cloud that's kind of blowing in the wind, then I can go and move my points around a little bit. And then I'll go and maybe make this cloud look like it's... Oh wait, here. I'll move it this way. So one of the reasons I really like Onshape is because there's all this flexibility. I can take my time and really make a perfect drawing, but I don't have to be good at drawing. Take these last two guys. I'm just going to move them. Let's move them over a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's better. If something goes strange on here, so like I had this weird point on here, this random point, so I just went and deleted it, so I'm just going to go and really quickly redo that one. So I'm just going to go and hit here, and I'm just going to go and redo that puffy part on the cloud. Okay, so once I've got my finished cloud and I'm happy with my cloud shape, I'm going to go and click on the drawing. And to go and turn this into a steel shape, what I'm going to do is I'll be able to go and select either the inside of my drawing or the outside of my drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and highlight and click on the outside of my drawing, and that'll select all of the parts of the steel that are outside of my shape. I'm going to go up here to extrude, and I'm going to go and hit remove instead of add, and then I'll hit the checkbox, and what that'll do is it'll nope, hold on a second, go back, something's going on here, my shape not quite right. So I'm just going to quickly check out my shape here and make sure that everything's working, and I'm ready to go. Maybe this little point here is what's out, so I'm going to just go and click on this real quick. I'm just going to move this. This might be the point that Onshape does not like. Just going to shift it over. try this again. Move. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm going to go and fix this up. And I'll be right back. Turns out that this little point over here was attached to the side of the metal, so it didn't want to go in and extrude right. So, okay, again, so I've got my drawing. That's sketch number 2. I'm going to go and select all of the parts of my metal plate that's around my drawing. I'm going to go and hit extrude. I'm going to hit remove up here instead of add. And when I hit remove, I'll get this screen here. And then I'm going to click the check mark, and then everything will go away. All right, there we go. Okay, problem solved. Okay, so I've got my cloud. This kind of looks like a mountains instead of a cloud, so maybe I'll go and fix that up later. But I want to go and put in the tool holder in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. So to put the holes for my tool holder in, I'm going to go and make a drawing. Okay, it's going to ask me again for select a sketch plane, so I'm going to click the face of my clouds here. And I'm going to go and select this point tool, and I'm going to go and place 2 points in this case, so that this will hold a pair of shears. So I'm going to go and click and place 2 points. Onshape will help me to go and make sure that these 2 points are perfectly horizontal with each other. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Okay. Once I've placed my 2 holes here, I'm going to hit the check mark, and I'll get this screen over here with my 2 holes for my drawing. To go and turn the 2 points into a hole, I'm going to go to the hole tool over here. I'm going to go and click on here, and I'll be left with this over here. So I'm going to go and click on my hole here. Instead of standard, I'm going to hit custom, and I'm going to go and set this to 1/4 inch or 0.25. Hit yes. I'm going to select the points that I want to go and make my holes. Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm going to call that back up again. When this window is still open here, I want to go and click. So here I'm clicking, I'm here and clicking. It'll kind of give me a preview of how big those holes are going to go and be. I'm going to go and hit my check mark, and oh wait, that didn't do it either. Okay, so let me start over again. Okay, let me try that again. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my hole button. I'm going to go and select my 2 holes, and then I'll hit my check mark. Okay, and then I've got my holes. Okay, not only do I want to go and put holes for the tools that I'm going to hang on here, so we're going to go and put some threaded rod in here. So so there's some threaded rod is going to go through these 2 holes. Not only do I want to go and do that, but I also want to go and make a way that I can go and screw this into the wall. So I'm going to go and make one last drawing. It'll again ask me for my sketch plane, so I'm going to go and select the face of my cloud. And I'm going to go and select again this point tool, and I just want to go and mark off some points where I'm going to go and put some screws in to screw this into the wall. So I'm going to put 3 in, and that should be pretty good. Okay, so once I've got my 3 points in, if you want to put 4, you can put 4, and you can go and check that out. I'm going to hit the check mark. I'll have my drawing here or I'll have my pieces of metal here with my dots here that indicate where I'm going to put my holes. I'm going to go and choose the hole making tool, and here I'm going to go from custom. I'm going to go and select ANSI, and I want to go and click on number 8. and I'm going to go and select my holes that I'm going to go and put on here. It'll give me kind of a preview to see how big those holes are. I'm going to go and hit the check mark, and then I'll have these holes. Okay. One last thing, everything in Onshape remains editable. So, if you're not happy with anything, like if I'm not really happy with my cloud shape here, I can just go right back into the drawing of my cloud, and I can select which one by kind of hovering over the sketch, and it'll kind of show me and highlight which thing I'm editing. So I'm going to go back to my original sketch here. I'm going to go and control click or double tap, and then I'm going to go and hit edit, and I can go back in and I can go and change my shapes around until I'm happy with it. Maybe I'm not really real happy with this guy here, so I'm just going to go and change it a little bit, so it kind of looks more cloudy. It looks a little bit better. Okay. I can always go back and change things, and the great thing is that if I go back in and I go and change something, then those changes will go forward through everything that I've already done here. Okay, so if I go and click here, then all of my, what happened? Go back here. Somebody's not happy. Okay, so did something in my sketch. Somebody is not happy with that sketch. Okay, I'm taking a look at here. I'm going to guess that this is the bad one, so I'm going to go in really quick. Put in another spline guy here. Just real quick. Put in another guy here. Just redraw that. Double tap that. I'm just going to. Okay, there we go. So just had a bad curve there, so I just took it out and then just redrew it real quick. Looks like this hole, it's kind of close here, but this hole would probably look a lot better if it was like right over here. So I can do the same thing with my hole placement. I can just go and click on my sketch, and then I can go and edit it, and I can go and move this hole to a better place. I'll hit OK, and then I can go and move my holes. Same with these guys. If these guys are looking a little high, I can go ahead and edit that sketch, and I can go and move them to a better spot. So maybe they're going to look better. I don't know. Maybe down here. Click OK. Okay, so I can always go in Onshape and move things around, and everything will be pushed through up through all of the operations that I've done before. So it's not like if I go and change one thing, I have to go and redo everything all over again. So I hope this helps you guys go and complete your guys' little tool hanging plate so that we can go and get them started in and go and work on them and get them laser cut and see what they actually look like before we go and get the steel cut. Okay, all right, great.